Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivijakacharya Ashto Shatra Shatra His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Granthara Shrimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna, today we are reading from Canto 10, entitled as the Summum Bonum, chapter number 20th, entitled as the Rainy Season and Autumn Season in Vrindavan. Today we are going to read out from text number 9. Shrutva prajnayanindam madhukaha shashrujurgirha tushinim shayanaha pragyadva Brahmana niyamatyaya. Word to word meaning, you can say after me, Shrutva, hearing, Prajnaya, of the rain clouds, Ninadam, the resounding, Mandukaha, the frogs, Shashrujuhu, emitted, Giraha, their sounds, Tushinim, silently, Sayanaha, lying, Prak, previously, Yadvat, just as, Brahmanaha, Brahmana students, Niyama Atyaye, after finishing their morning duties. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada disciples ki jai. Translation: the frogs who had all along been lying silent suddenly began croaking when they heard the rumbling of the rain clouds, in the same way that Brahmana students who perform their morning duties in silence began reciting their lessons when called by their teacher. Srila Prabhupada comments, it's a purport, after the first rainfall, when there is a thundering sound in the cloud, all the frogs begin to croak like students suddenly engaged in reading their studies. Students are generally supposed to rise early in the morning. They do not usually arise of their own accord. However, but only when there is a bell sounded in the temple or in the cultural institution. By the order of the spiritual master, they immediately rise. And after finishing their morning duties, they sit down to study the Vedas or chant Vedic mantras. Similarly, everyone is sleeping in the darkness of Kali Yuga. But when there is a great Acharya, by his calling, only everyone takes to the study of the Vedas to acquire actual knowledge. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karunaha Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinahamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Pashati Deshatarini Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Bhutale Srimate Kadambakanan Swami Namine. Hare Krishna. So, in our today's verse, it is a very, very important lesson for all of us, especially to the brahmacharis, because it's talking about the students. Even though it applies to everybody, everybody is a student in this material world, especially if we see from the Vedic point of view, no matter in whichever ashram you are a student to the Vedic scripture. Even the sannyasis, even the vanaprasthas and many other, everybody read books. Everybody read Vedic scriptures to sharpen their intelligence. But here it's most important talking about these students, Brahmana students. What are their important duties? They must rise early in the morning at any cost. Apart from if they have any health challenges or something happens to them, so that's the other thing. But ultimately they must rise by any means. And what are their duties? They have to chant the mantra silently. They do it. Here the example is given by a frog. If you see, this whole season is talking about the season of Vrindavan. Okay? But there is a metaphorical knowledge is also there. A metaphorical lesson is also there simultaneously. We just heard in the previous chapter when there was a big fire happen and there was a time in the summer and the heat in Vrindavan is extremely high. Okay? And everybody prays that rain must happen. Let the rain happen. Then we will feel smooth, because when you are in the heat and suddenly when you get some shower, some rain, some water, you feel so calm, so peace or relief from the heat. So that's what happened here. You know, and they are giving the example of a frog. And there are many examples. So one lesson due to our today's verse, one lesson is a brahmachari must take, a student must take the lessons from the frog. And what is the lesson? The way frog, croaks, croak all the time by seeing the sun, because as soon as he hears the thundering sound of a cloud, he's so happy. Oh my God, now what will happen? All our miseries will be gone away. Because the rain going to come, we were just suffering here due to heat. So he becomes so happy and he chants. He just chants means what? He's just croaking out there. So Prabhupada is saying that we should have to take the lessons from that, because we are in the darkness. Okay, and we are suffering from the heat of these material pangs. The heat of Adi Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Devi, and plus the three modes of material nature and many others. So everybody is giving a miserable heat to the living entity. But as soon as the Acharya comes, the great teacher comes, a spiritual teacher which is compared to a cloud. When he comes in the life of this miserable conditioned soul, he showers what? The knowledge, the spiritual knowledge. Early in the morning, when we do Guru Ashtam, the first verse itself says, Samsara dava nal leedha loka, tranaya karunya ghana ghanatvam, praptasya kalyana gunana vasya, vande guruho shri charanaravindam. By the mercy of the spiritual master, we can extinguish the fire of this material world. That's the power. So here is talking about the Acharya. Whenever he comes, then he enlivens all the conditioned soul, those who are sleeping in the lap of Maya. So the first important duty of the Acharya is to give the students a proper spiritual program, which Srila Prabhupada already has given as a founder Acharya of our ISKCON. Okay, even though he's not here physically, but still he is present here in his books, in his words, in his lecture, and in his Archa Vigraha Murti. He's looking at us. Whatever the time or the schedule or the practice he has set up for us, are we following it or not? The person who exactly follows, the success is right there in his pocket. The success is right there in his pocket. Okay, no one can defeat him. But the point is, as soon as the person becomes loosened in his practice and start thinking he's more advanced, then he starts suffering or start facing the problems in his life. Even though if you are alone in the world, but you exactly follow the description given by the Acharya, even in the midst of the material world, no one can touch you. Maya cannot touch you. But even if you are in the association of thousands of people, it could be your devotee association, but you are not following the rules and regulation and the etiquettes of being as a spiritual practitioner, then no one can save you. You will suffer like anything. Okay, Vedic scripture says there is another comparison of a frog. It says a person, especially a sadhu, a devotee, should not croak like a frog. When a frog croaks, what happens to the frog? What does the frog do? A snake. When a frog croaks loudly, he thinks he's so melodious. His voice is so wonderful. Everybody likes to hear him. Okay? But he forgets that he's giving an indication to a death. And the death comes as a snake. Because snakes likes to eat frog. Okay? And as soon as the snake hears the sound, the snake goes towards the sound. And he says, where is this sound coming from? And he immediately grabs it. So the Vedic scripture, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam, compares those croaking is like the talking of a materialistic person. He talks nonsense. Accept Krishna consciousness, whatever we speak, that is all nonsense. That means we are inviting the death in a very fastest way. Come to us. If the croak is silent, okay, he's just taking his life easy. So snake doesn't know where the frog is sitting, and it will hard for him to find out. In this way, frog can live for longer. Okay, and in a similar way, when a materialistic person, if he keep quiet, not talking nonsense, only talking about the Lord, then he will not invite the death. Because we can see due to our this tongue, this organ, okay, when we speak nonsensely, we invite death, and death comes in the form of danger. Like, okay, if you see there are many politicians are there, many famous people are there. Okay, when they speak something nonsense about other, immediately war happens. How dare you to say this to me? How dare you to say this to our Prime Minister or my husband or any powerful personality? If you make a very loose comment on somebody, especially nowadays the way the technology is so popular, immediately people take the video and they just spread it out like this, and next moment the police comes at your home and they catches you. That means you have invited a death for yourself, means the danger for yourself. We have seen there's so many people on the YouTube channel, Instagram, and many other Facebooks. They make their video and they challenge some powerful person, and without knowledge what are the consequences going to be, that person takes a charge on him and send a police. That's why this croaking is like that frog. But here, the croaking is also compared, and the lessons from the brahmacharis, those who are living in the temple or living in the Gurukula. They must they must chant like a frog. In which way? To memorize the mantras, the shlokas. I don't know if you have ever been to Vrindavan temple. Behind the Vrindavan temple, and there is a building, it's called Russian building, and next to that Russian building, behind that building, there's a Sanskrit school. Okay, and if you go there in that Sanskrit school early in the morning and evening, okay, you can hear students are there, 30, 40 young students, maybe 7, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years old students. They just recite mantra like a loudspeaker. They just shloka after shloka after shloka after, and it's soothing to the ear so much. That's why they're only allowed to make noise when they have to chant the mantra. Otherwise, kids are very noisy, it just takes your peace away. But when they chant the mantra, it soothes to the ear. Look at that. These people are learning the Vedic mantra. So they are going to be a Brahmana in the future. They're going to enlighten the other conditioned soul with their practice. So that's why we have to do. The first important thing, Srila Prabhupada here writes that rising, students are generally supposed to rise early in the morning. They do not usually rise of their own accord. Why it is so much stress upon rising early in the morning? Because if you have to chant, you can chant within 24 hours, any time of the day. But why is it so important early in the morning? Because that is recommended in the Vedic scriptures. It's a time of Brahma Muhurta, means an auspicious time, and all the devils or evil spirit, all the nature or this type of people, they are sleeping at this moment. And the influence of ignorance and passion is almost down. You can practice with your best. Otherwise, if you have started your chanting after 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, where the passion is about to start, you can see how hard it is to chant Hare Krishna, even though if you are in the temple. Because the vibration, the influence of these passionate or ignorance people is so high that it won't let you do your spiritual practice. But if you do chant early in the morning, we can see the power of that spiritual austerity when we chant the mantra. It gives us protection throughout the whole day. We are being protected by any means. And it is a time of mode of goodness also. Because morning, the whole world, the whole material nature, anything you say, whether it's a day, whether it's a food, whether it is austerity, whether it's a charity, anything it comes, or even the planetary system, it comes under the three modes of material nature: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. So the day is also considered as mode of goodness early in the morning. Afternoon, mode of passion. Evening, mode of ignorance. Okay, so the spiritual practice has to be done on mode of goodness. We cannot practice. If we have done it in mode of passion and ignorance, we struggle like anything. We think, why am I in this movement? Why am I chanting? I should leave this. It doesn't work on me. Because this has to be done on mode of goodness. Prabhupada gives an example. Not such Prabhupada, but I have heard from the teachers. They say, if you have to fly your spiritual plane, your aeroplane, so can you fly from anywhere? You need a proper runway. You cannot just fly outside your, pi 9, whatever the road is there, your front of the temple, or somewhere on the freeway. No, you need a proper runway to fly. A plane has to fly with a proper runway. It has a proper smooth road. It has a proper indication waiting for the person to allow him to fly. There's a red, yellow, green, and then it just runs at its own speed. When there is a proper time, then it's take off very smoothly. But if you fly here, there's so many holes are there on the road. So where is the cushion that your spiritual plane will fly? So in a similar way, mode of goodness early in the morning is a proper smooth runway to fly your spiritual plane right in a smoother way with no hindrance. But if you try to fly in the afternoon and evening, which is mode of passion and ignorance, it's full of holes, digs, construction going on. So you cannot go with the full speed and you can take off your plane. You need to wait. You need to wait. That's why it is very, very important here to rise up early in the morning, finish our chanting, and do Guru Puja, come to the Bhagavatam class, take prashad. There are a whole full package. It looks very simple, okay? And when we do over the period of time, it looks also very boring. What is this, man? I'm doing for last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, same routine. Yes, it's the same routine to control your rascal mind. Because mind has given you so much trouble. Apart from any spiritual knowledge, it gives you many other thoughts to fulfill. Okay? Why you are a brahmachari, you are living in the temple, you have 24 hours, let's go sleep, get up during the breakfast time, take and try to chant whole day. Who is stopping you? Who is watching you? Yes, Maya is watching you. Prabhupada is watching you. Guru Maharaj is watching you. Deities are watching you. Even though nobody gives us trouble, our own mind gives us trouble. Our own attitude gives us trouble. And then we end up into what? Suffering. Internally, no one can recognize who is suffering inside only apart from even though everything is going smooth outside. But only we struggle. Because that's why these temples are the oases. It's been called the spiritual hospitals. And we all are sick patients. We all are sick patient. If we are in the hospital, so we need to exactly do the way our spiritual doctor Srila Prabhupada has set up. The diet is there, okay, medicine is there, precautions are there, do and don'ts are there, everything is there. We just need to follow and cure ourselves. No wonder we do go in our spiritual practice up and down like a graph. I'm pretty much sure all we have studied. Sometimes we go up in the high, then boom on the bottom, then high, just back and forth, going up and down, going up and down. That's why we need the association of the devotees, so they can check upon us. If we don't have anybody to supervise our bhakti, to make sure we are doing the right path, that means we are in a very dangerous position. It's called freelance devotee. They know, oh yeah, I'm initiated, I chant my rounds, I go to yatra, I go for program, I go for books, I do cooking, I do worship, and then I don't want anybody to point me out. That's where the whole problem comes. If you see, is there any office in the whole world? Why there is a whole operation system is there? Why it's been said there is a supervisor? Why it's been said there is an operational manager? Why it's been said there is a managerial operation? Why there has been said there is a MD? Why there has been said there is a CEO or board of member? Why this everybody is there? Why they are paying so much? Why? The boss can straight away tell you can do it, and they can do it. No, because people by nature, they want to be freelance people. They don't want anybody to be, watch them or tell them what they want to do. So when they do like that, so the work which they have been appointed for, it doesn't finish. Suppose people are there in the factory, the laborers are there, and labor come by their own, they sit, watch phone, do here and there, and they go home, and the work is not been done. So make sure the work is done, the supervisor is there. So he keeps an eye on everybody. And also, work has to be done the way the company wants you to be done. Let's take an example of a shoemaking company. Okay, people are there, they come, they cut the leather, someone cut the sole, someone, do something stitches. So everything, there is a supervisor who supervises and make sure the worker is doing as per the standard company has set up. If anything wrong, he immediately stops. No, you're not going to do that. Okay, make sure you rectify your stuff. This is a mistake, rectify your mistakes. Because if the product is the way the company wants, that's how the company can sell and earn the profit. Because if the product is not the way company want, then the customer will not buy the shoes, and the company is in the loss. In a similar way, the way Srila Prabhupada has set up, okay, you are there, among you there is a mentorship, or it could be your supervisor, or means like TC is there, TP is there, okay, and your own spiritual master is there, and then temple president is there, and the GBC is there. So everybody, there's a hierarchy. So make sure they are supervising others' job. And we also let supervise everybody. We have to voluntarily surrender to some people, those who think they are mature in their spiritual understanding, they can help us out. Otherwise, if you think, no, I am good enough, I tell you what, if you have read a book called Manha Siksha by Raghunath Das Goswami, okay? In verse number 5 and 6, I love those two verses. What I have done, I have taken the photocopy of the photos which has been printed in that book, and I posted on my wall. It's so powerful. It says that a person, a spiritual practitioner, after some period of time, when he practices, he may, with his sincerity, he may come over the 6 enemies, which is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. When these 6 enemies may go away from your life, but there is a greatest enemy, a dacoit. And the dacoit is who? The prestige. prestige to be recognized as a very famous and wonderful and a great brahmachari. A prestige to be a very great, renounced grahastha. A prestige to be a great vanaprastha, even though prestige to be a great sannyasis. So when this pratishtha comes, okay, a false prestige to show people what you actually are not. You know, sometimes we just dress up in such a way, we just talk in such a way, walk in such a way, or action in such a way that let the world recognize how in a short period of time I have attained the Paramahamsa stage. That prestige is the very heavy thing to take out from the life of a spiritual practitioner. I have personally seen either in India and many other places also, people are being upset because I have been practicing for 25, 30 years, why you didn't allow me to put the garland on Srila Prabhupada? That person, he just came 4 or 5 years after me. You know, I'm not going to come to this temple. And many other things are there. And that's where our fall down starts. That's how, because Maya exactly know what are the weaknesses of a particular jiva. And she only throws a bait, you know, have you ever seen fishing bait? Many people do fishing bait. So she knows exactly what are the weaknesses of a particular jiva, and she throws that bait in front of it. And when a person is being hooked up with that, and she pulls up right up out of the water, means out of the bhakti, she pulls slowly up. Have you ever seen a person doing fishing? As soon as he hooks up and he finds out, okay, the fish is hooked up now in a bait, so he slowly he just rolls his fishing rod, slowly. Because he doesn't even let know the fish is going to come out of the water. That's what the Maya does. She hooks up the bait, and a spiritual practitioner is hooked up by that, and she slowly rolls him down, okay, up, and he comes out of the bhakti and is up in the air again in the Maya. He doesn't even realize. Yeah, Sobari Muni, a powerful saint, a powerful Muni. He was practicing right in the water for 60,000 years. I mean, if we do 60 days now, we will be flying in the air. But this person was doing for 60,000 years. But he made such a very severe offense to a Vaishnava. And the Vaishnava was Garudji, who is the personal, vehicle or carrier of Lord Vishnu. He didn't allow him. No, you cannot come and eat fish from here, because by nature, he's what? He's Garud, a bird, okay? Then his food is naturally a fish. That's why he just want to eat it, okay? He came and he didn't say anything. Even though he's so powerful, he can counteract the curse. He may kill the Sobari Muni also, but he accepted, okay, you are a Brahmana, you didn't want, but Krishna didn't like it, Vishnu didn't like it. For that one, he has to pay the price, and the price was he had to lose his practice. He saw there were two fishes, they were being into union, and he got agitated. He said, oh, I want to also have union. So what should I do? He just go to the local king and he find out, I need to marry your daughter. And they find out, okay, sir, sorry, I mean, he thought you are a Muni and you are being in the water. If you're being in the water, you can see what will happen to your body, especially your skin. If you watch some pots for 1-2 hours, you can see your hands are like swollen, like become white, like become ugly, not a tight skin. And he says, oh, first of all, you are old and you are sadhu. Sadhu means, full of beard, not properly combed hair, and ascetic, full of dust on their body or whatever thing. They're not good looking. And he says, oh, well, you know what, because I'm happy to give my daughter, but actually I have given this right to my daughters. So let them choose the groom, the husband of their own choice. Because then Sobari Muni understood, oh, maybe I'm not looking good in my presence. So, okay, but he got a mystic power. So he changed himself into a very handsome man, a very handsome youth, young princess like that. And as soon as he walks into the arena, this king has 50 daughters, and they all starting fighting among themselves. No, he's my husband, he's my husband, he's my husband. I'm gonna enjoy him. And finally, he has to marry all of them. He did marry, and after a period of time, he was thinking, oh my God, I was a brahmachari. I was right on the path, go back to Godhead. I was doing such a practice. What did I do that I end up being into a householder and enjoying not one, two women? I was enjoying 50 women with so many children. Then he realized, oh man, I made such a severe, mistake offending a Vaishnava. Then he immediately comes into his senses. He leaves the home, go to the forest, and the wives also follow him, and he attains the perfection. But he came into the senses after punishment. But we need to be watch out ourselves. Actually, we should not be, feel like that, because he was a mystic person. He was a sage of a Satyuga. Okay, he could have sense himself. But once we go into Maya, we cannot come back into senses until it's again a blessing of a Vaishnava comes to us and they pulls us again back. So better we should not put ourselves in that situation where we have to regret it. So precaution is better than cure. Always be careful, because Prabhupada and Srimad Bhagavatam ultimately say, if you say any case study, every case study, Srila Prabhupada carefully say, we have to perform our bhakti very carefully, with full attention, every time. And we need to be fear of being attacked by Maya. Always. We have to put ourselves in such a situation where there is somebody checking on us. Prabhuji, don't do like that. Prabhuji, come to the morning program. Prabhuji, do that, not do that. So when we are under that means it's a blessing of Krishna. Okay, there is somebody there to check us out, to stop us. Otherwise, if you see in material world, people don't like if they have been checked by somebody. Prabhu, it's my life. Why you are bothering? If I will face any problem, I will suffer. Why you are bothering? No. But it's one of the mercy of a sadhu, that is his compassion. Karunikaha. He's very merciful. He cannot see people suffering in the material world. Even though a person is not listening to him or following his instruction, again and again he helps them. Even though he has been disrespected by the person many times, still he tries to save them, because that is the nature of a sadhu. Okay, but that does not mean we need to take the advantage of that. In India, if you see, many people, they are being used to, like when I was growing up, my whole life I was being chastised by everybody. Teachers were there, okay, and my tuition teachers were there, my parents were there, my grandparents were there, neighbors were there, and I was thinking everybody was chastising me. Then I was thinking, they are so bad people. They, every time I just want to do something in my life, and they always stop me not to do certain things, But much year later, I appreciate them. If they could not been stopped me, I would have myself in a great trouble. Because according to my immaturity or experience in life, I was thinking this bad activity is good for me, like smoking, drinking, going to pubs and clubs, and I was thinking all my friends are going, why I have been starved, why my parents are not giving me enough money to go to the this type of places. And I was thinking my parents are bad. But much year later I found out that they saved me. But that, due to my immaturity, due to my young age, I was not able to understand. And I see those people, those of so-called of my friends, those time, they are going through with so many bodily problems. Because in the early age, they started drinking, smoking, many other those activities, and they went into bad habits, and their life is completely miserable. We are of the same age, but I can see doctor has said them, you cannot drink any more liquor, or you can't smoke, because their kidneys start affecting them, liver gone, many things are happening to them. And I was thinking, oof, if my parents and my teachers, if they could not have stopped me, I was also not on this right path. But that time we don't understand, but later much year we appreciate them, how we have been saved by them. But in foreign, you can see the foreign world, people do not like to be stopped by anybody. Anyway, it's my life. If anything happens, I will suffer. You don't worry about me. And people also, when they have been treated badly, they say, okay, what can I do? I try to stop to you, even it's up to you. If you want to go ahead, and they lose their life. They lose their career, they lose their peace, they lose their name and fame, money, everything. And ultimately they put themselves. That's why it's very important that we need to follow the rules and regulations set up by Srila Prabhupada in our life. And these rules and regulations, they makes us free. Rules and regulations are not meant to bind us. Actually, they are meant to make us free from the bondage of cycle of birth and death. Why there are rules and regulations in the sports? Why? Because everybody can play in peace and harmony. Why there are rules and regulations are on the roads? Why it says from this area to that area you have to drive under 50 kilometers. You have to stop at intersection, red light. You need to follow this junction. Don't drive on this lane, drive on this lane. Why? Because they want everybody to be in peace and harmony and stay safe. Because rules and regulation makes us safe, not just makes us trouble or bind us. In a similar way, on a spiritual path, there are some rules and regulations. It's not just take our freedom away, even to give us complete freedom. Rules and regulations gives us complete. So the disciple means discipline. He follow the discipline. When you follow the discipline, then you can call yourself, yes, I am the disciple of so and so Maharaj. If you're not following, then we should not call ourselves we are a disciple. Disciple means follow the discipline completely, the way scriptures and Guru has set up for us. Okay, so I stop here and would like to take some questions, if you have any. Yeah, go ahead.
What is this plugged in though?
No, this is a second mic. No. If the person wants to ask a question, so you can just press it on, it will turn blue, then you can ask question.
Thank you, Guruji, for the lecture.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai.
Point, very important topic that maybe we don't talk about enough or too much. You mentioned, so Bharimuni, we just read about him a few chapters before. And you said he woke up after he had received a severe reaction, for his offense. So is there any, because now you're warning us and you're giving such important points, so what's the chance that somebody can wake up before, or come to his senses before, let's say he gets punished, or is it that Krishna actually wants somebody to be punished because for their own welfare, or should we desire not to be punished, or avoid punishment? Let's see, I'm going to become smarter, I got my lesson, don't punish me, Krishna. Or, do you understand my question?
Yeah.
Like, is it compulsory to see the reaction, or can we become intelligent also otherwise?
Okay, see, being as a lovable father, Lord Krishna, or any father, if you say the father of this material world, even the child of that father, even the child has done many big mistakes, still the father doesn't want to punish. There are many levels for a child to understand. The first level is the father uses the words. He tells, my child, you have done this mistake. Please do not do that. There were so many people in the past who have done this. So these are the so and so consequences you have to go through. If the child is smart enough, he will grab, oh father, I didn't know that. Okay, I will not do it. But if the child is not that intelligent, then he may do again. Then again father tells, see, I told you, I gave you warning 2-3 times, please don't do that. If you do that, then it's not nice for you. Then third, fourth, fifth time. And if you keep doing it, so there are different level of action to be taken on a child, because the child, as if you see in the police station, when the police catches some thief and the police wants to get some information out from the thief, the police says, please tell us, what was your plan and how many people were involved in there. If he doesn't say, so then they use some, higher punishment, then higher punishment, then higher punishment, and more higher punishment. They straight away doesn't go to the higher punishment. If the person says, oh, they're gonna beat me 1 or 2 slap, or with the stick they're gonna hit me, oh, if they're gonna hit me more hard, then I will cry, I will break my bones, so better I should let them know everything. So he saves himself. But if he doesn't tell, then they give him more severe punishment, and then more severe punishment to take the truth out. So in a similar way, Krishna also gives us many chances, but 2, 3, 4, 5 days, it's up to him. But if the child doesn't want to do, then he has to use other method to teach the child. Sometime with a 1 slap or 2 slap or a 10 slaps, a child come into consciousness, okay, I will not do that. But sometimes the child is so stubborn, so dull-headed, that doesn't go into his mind, so the father has to, make him, put him on the right track, so give him a heavier punishment. But that does not mean a father likes to do that, but father does it for his child welfare. So make sure, he gets come on the right track. Have you ever seen in our family life, if the father has 3, 4 sons, not every son wants to follow the father. Always there is 1 or 2 sons, they are very, very, mischievous. If the first or second son, he follows exactly the father says, the father gives him everything. But if the third and fourth son, they are bit here and there, so father, chastise them, either by the words, either with the hand or by other means. But some point he has to correct them because that's his duty. Because being as a child, dirt-headed, he doesn't know what is good and bad for him. If he's good, intelligent, he may come into the consciousness. That's why Prabhupada says there are 3 levels of intelligence. 1, by listening, by observing, by seeing, we can immediately, oh, I should not do it. And second class, let me have some experience. Okay, 1 experience, oh, no, I know. I heard, but I did not follow. I got the experience, I should not do it. This is second class. And third, a person do it again and again and again and again and again. So why we want to become on the level of third class of intelligence? We can see people around us. There are so many people have done so many mistakes and they fall down and they have to suffer for that. So we should take a lesson from them. Oh, no. I have to watch my words, my action, and my attitude, because I have lost so many lifetime and this life is so precious. I have got everything here wonderful. Good place to live, good food to eat, good lifestyle, good occupation. All I have to do is just follow and go back to Godhead. But there's so many people, those who have been, brahmacharis and they left brahmacharya, they regret much year later so much. Oh, I was in the brahmacharya ashram, I made this, this mistake I did very heavily. Now I'm stuck in my family life. It is very difficult. I cannot go back to Godhead. Because you get some extra duties which you don't want to do it. So it becomes the burden on the path. It's up to him. He may give you a strong punishments also. Maybe you can come back. It's up to him. How he wants to treat individually every single living entity. It's up to the Lord. So better be a first-class man. No, I should not do it. Bhagavatam says so many case studies. I can see people around me. Baba, it's very heavy. I should not do it. So, anything else? Yeah.
It seems like, I'm not there, but it seems like sometimes devotees end up in a certain position that have been practicing for so long.
Yeah.
Where it seems like they don't have anyone up on top of them.
Yeah.
So, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah, I said in my class that they should take the shelter or put themselves under someone senior supervision. The person who is mature can guide them, because the position is so intoxicated that a person start committing so many offenses towards other living entities, especially the people around them. So he should be watch out his action, because see, it is one kind of a power. When a power comes to an immature person, he doesn't harm to himself first, not to others. The first thing. So the lesson is he should put himself under the guidance of some seniors and say, Prabhuji, due to this thing, this is happening. or speak to his spiritual masters or authority. So they will guide them. Okay, you need to do like this. No, you need to watch your ad. Just do only this much. Don't do that much, because we all are volunteers. Okay, we are not getting paid or anything. We are all volunteers. So whatever we get the money, we put in the temple for the pleasure of the Lord and our Guru. So we need to be, check ourselves. We need to find, Prabhuji, I think people are not happy with me, around me, what should I do? So he will ask you what is the background, why not? So he will, help you in that way. No, you do like this, you do. So we all are struggling. So there is some polishing is there. Then the senior people, they will polish the person, and the person will come as a beautiful gem, like a diamond. Because we all are struggling. We all have our own anarthas, our own conditioning. So we just go and pray to the Lord, please kindly send somebody who can help us out, or who can, check my words, check my action, or I can speak to somebody. So in this way, we need to help others, or ourselves. First of all, help ourselves in that sense. Yeah. Until you become mature, then you can help others also, or help yourself also. Because Prabhupada says we need to know how to control our minds, and especially our words. Because once the words are gone out of the mouth, it breaks, the relationship, it breaks the heart, it breaks everything. And maybe that person will never come back again to the spiritual life, just caught of a slight misunderstanding. It could be tolerated, but just out of false ego, the person become puffed up and he chastised somebody, and the other fellow went away. Prabhupada says, what's the point of your preaching or being as an authority, that if you chastise somebody and the person leaves the movement and go away? This is your failure. I mean, your whole practice is a failure, because due to our behavior, the person just gone away, left the movement. Why? Because Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj says it takes how many? He says 40 gallons. I mean, he was saying this point, like it takes a lot of gallons of blood to make one person devotee. And due to our false ego or unintelligence, if we don't tolerate those situations, and we don't know how to make the situation better for everybody, and if the person goes away, because he came halfway through, you did so much book distribution, you did so much preaching, and he became a Vaishnava. He's coming, just about to take initiation, or took initiation or not took initiation. Something happened, then he made a U-turn. Then he went away again into the Maya. So this is our loss. That means we are not, be good enough to be on the position of authority or in charge of anything. So we need to be very, very mindful. Make sure we try to keep everybody in the temple as soon as possible, with the help of other seniors. That's how we're going to expand our movement. Because our movement is known for prema pumarto mahan, the love. If that is not there, then people will find the love outside, the care outside, and the Maya is very expert to give care. She's very expert to give love. Oh, come and get love from this lady or that man, or this occupation or that occupation. Hare Krishna people are so bad, don't go there anymore. This person is against us due to our foolishness. Makes sense? That's why we need to read Prabhupada books every day for certain hours. Hear his lecture and hear from the great sadhus, those who come, and serve them, because the quality we don't have, by serving those great sadhus, their quality will automatically transfer into ourselves. Sayan Mahat Sevya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nivesana. That quality if we don't have, we need to find the person who has the quality and serve the person. And by serving the person, all their good qualities will automatically transfer into our life. That's how this science is. Spiritual Krishna consciousness is all about formulas and science. It's complete science. It's not like any mental speculation or any kind of a magic. No, it is just complete science. If you do this, this will happen to you. Okay, I think it's 9:05. Okay, we have one, please.
It is said that when we talk, because you say that we have to control the words.
We have to control our words. Yeah.
When we talk about some devotees and do make offense,
Mm.
there is a solution that is go to this devotee and ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what happened was when the devotee is, let's say, in Spain,
Yeah.
France,
Yeah.
even we think something
Yeah.
negative,
Yeah.
what to do, because even if we think it's offense, how
No, in a mind, in Kali Yuga, if you commit any offense through your mind, it is not taken as an offense and it won't be counted until you bring it into real action. But in other bygone ages such as Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, if you commit any offense through your mind also, oh my God, you have to have the same reaction what you do in real action. The example was Gautama Muni, Gautama Rishi and his wife Ahilya. She went to take some water for the husband in the pond and river, and she saw there were some Gandharvas. They were, this man was having a nice time with the ladies, and she saw the man and she became so attracted. Oh my God, such a handsome man. I wish I could also enjoy with him. And she said, no, I am somebody else's wife. And she got back. By the time she got back, husband was so powerful, Gautama Rishi. He realized, oh, you are such a sinful woman. You have your own husband, but you want to enjoy with other men. I curse you. Something happened, and curse. But it doesn't happen in Kali Yuga because that thing is forbidden. Otherwise, you cannot live, because we do so many offenses. If I put a wire in your mind, or all of us mind, and put it here in the television, we can see what you are thinking about me and other people. You will be ashamed to call yourself, as a brahmachari or higher, person. No, it's, oh my God, it's me. My whole picture going on in my mind is coming here in the screen. No, so that until unless you bring it through action, like especially with your words or through your action, if you do it, so that is taken as serious offense.
But to do in this case that we say something, but then we don't have the opportunity to ask for forgiveness to this devotee.
No, that means you have said somebody from your words, like you use the words to offend somebody, and the person is not here. So what should we do in that case? So no problem. You can just just come to the Lord, pray to the Lord, ki I have done these mistakes, and you just take the name of that person and say, sorry, I don't know where you are. I don't know, how can I meet you next time? But I'm paying my obeisances to you from here now. Just pay and just chant Muncha Kalpatrupa, and tell him for next time I will not do it again. And make sure you don't do it again also. But when you meet him in the future, you pay obeisances to him, and because in this way our heart becomes light with that offense. Our heart becomes light, So that is the only thing remedy. And we need to be mindful not to do the same thing with others also. Otherwise, we need to suffer. Yes, Prabhu.
What about the story of Sanatana Goswami, where he was like in meditation,
Yeah.
and, like laughing, and somebody walked by? And
That was Rupa Goswami.
Rupa Goswami.
Yeah.
So, but that was in Kali Yuga.
Yeah. So,
Still taken as an offense, even though he was just in the mind. I mean, I guess he laughed out loud.
no, yeah. See, if we hear this type of a story, okay, or any this type of a pastime, we need to see the context, in which context it has been said, and who are these people, and what is the lesson for us. So Rupa Goswami is just not an ordinary person, okay? He's our Mahan Acharya. So Krishna makes an arrangement to his pure devotee, does something like that. So it's a lesson for the whole world, that even if Rupa Goswami has to suffer for some time, and what was his suffering? Do you know that? He cannot meditate on the pastime of the Lord. That was his suffering. And what is our? We can't even pick up the beat to chant Hare Krishna. Because he was meditating on the pastime of the Lord. And if you see, that was not his fault also. That was not his fault also. He was just meditating, and he was just smiling that how Krishna is teasing Radharani. because he is visualizing, he's seeing those pastimes happening in his trance, in his samadhi. And suddenly there was sadhu was passing, and this sadhu was not well in his body, like a handicapped person. Okay, and this sadhu thought, oh, because due to my, like I'm a lamb, I cannot walk properly, or due to my, style, this is he's laughing. So he didn't curse him, he didn't say anything to other person, Rupa Goswami, but it just happened like that. His meditation broke, and he was trying to meditate again. Oh my God, what has happened? I'm not able to see what I have done. He tried many times. He says, oh no, I think I have done unknowingly somebody offense. Unknowingly. We do it knowingly. Need to point out. We do it knowingly, but our Acharya has done unknowingly. So he went to his elder brother, Sanatana Goswami, and he narrates the whole story of what has happened. So he gives the solution. Okay, you do one thing, invite all the sadhus of the village and feed them. Okay, and because they were dhira adhira janapriyo, they were dear to both ruffians and the sadhus, sober people. So everybody came, to whomever they gave the invitation, everybody came except one person. So he fed everybody. Then Sanatana Goswami asked Rupa Goswami Maharaj, he said, did everybody come? He says, yeah, except one person. He says, yeah, you go and see that person, you might have unknowingly offended him. Go and ask for forgiveness. So he goes there and he says, Sadhu Mahatma, why you didn't come to my there where I fed the invitation? And he says, you know what, just some days ago you laughed at me. I said, did I laugh? I didn't even meet you. We didn't even meet for so long. How can I? He said, no, I was passing, you were closing your eyes and you laughed at me because I thought you just laughed at my body. And he says, no sir, I didn't. So there was some exchange happen and the problem was sorted out. Then again he's back. So this example is for us. Even this Acharya Sen has to be then what to speak about us when we use heavy thing, which is knowingly we are doing it. Don't you know how powerful I am? I am on a big post. I am this and that. How dare you to take your eyes upon me? I'm going to take them off. So we do it intentionally, and this happened with the sweet will of the Lord. It was not had to be happen. So it's a lesson from us. How careful we have to be in our practice. So just a lesson. It's just a lesson for us. There is nothing for that one. And that was not he was doing in his mind to the sadhu. He was it just accident happened. It just mistake. He was just thinking about some Radha Krishna pastime, and some other person took, oh, they are laughing at me. So that was a mistake. It's not that he was cursing to that person in the mind. It just happened accidentally. It was just a pastime for us to learn. Heavy thing. Okay, thank you. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Tagore Premanande.